Hello, this is Jim McHugh, and we're doing our first broadcast today of Stuff to Do Boston. I thought we'd try to do some live streaming. There's a lot of people with a lot of questions: what to do, where to go, where's the best, and we have our Facebook group, which was until yesterday was Things to Do Boston, which is now Stuff to Do Boston.com. And we also have a site called stufftodoboston.com. If you have, events you want to promote or events you want to see what's going on in town, go to stufftodoboston.com. Okay, I got about a 1 minute late start today. We're brand new, and I'm gonna try to get this show going every week, kind of on a regular basis. And if you want, you can comment, and I'll just talk about some of the things that we have going on. I'll start with comedy because I'll tell you a little about myself. I'm a Boston comedian, and we have shows this week. Although there's great shows all over Boston. We have shows that actually we're doing at the City Winery in Boston, which is a great place to go if you have a date or a group or whatever. They have great dinners. They have great intimate space for shows, and it's a great place to start out your Boston weekend. All right. All right. I'm a little lost here. Okay, so every week on our website, we get a lot of folks that chime in and they want to know, where's the best pizza? Where's the best coffee? Where's the best barbecue? Where's the best place to bring people if you're looking for something free to do during the day, or what's the best thing to do with kids? So that's what this is all about. I think we're going to do a weekly, podcast based on that. So we'd love to have your input. Let me go to the group and we'll see what we got here. Oh, we may have somebody already. All right. Go to groups. Aha. All right. Let me add somebody. This is Liam Hales. He's also a comedian, and he's a foodie, and he's a good guy to have on your podcast if you want to talk about things to do Boston. He went to Northeastern University, and he knows the lay of the land. So, Liam, this is it. This is our first at bat, and I had to do a drive from the North Shore all the way down to Woburn and back. So I started literally like right on at 1 o'clock. I was like running around setting up things. So,
okay,
glad you're here, buddy.
Good to be here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, that was a real Jim McHugh opening of a show where you just like are like hair on fire, popping open the thing. I was like, how do I let Liam know where to get a hold of us? So I don't know where you want to. I was thinking we could talk about maybe start with food and then work our way around. I think both of us like pizza, so if you're going to give us 2 or 3 recommendations for pizza, what's your go-to?
If I'm in the North End, I'm going to Ernesto's.
Okay.
My favorite place right now is this place called Mortadello's. That is near Davis Square in Cambridge, and they do it's like Sicilian pizza, but with like a Roman flair because they cut it with scissors, I believe.
Oh, sounds good.
Yeah, I had when I was there. I had a prosciutto and potato pizza, which was really freaking good. All about that. And then, honestly, if it's been open for a while, it's probably going to be pretty good. I'll I'll just about stop in any place to get some pizza. U Hop, B Hop. Little Stevie's isn't open anymore, but that used to be my favorite back
I
in
know
the.
there's really it's a hard question because there's different kinds of pizza that different people will like. So like, what do you pick? Uh,
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're just looking to fill a void, then I say anything but Domino's is good.
right.
I work for
Matt,
Domino's.
if it's late at night and you need someone to bring it to your door,
Yeah,
and you only got 20 minutes before you pass out from hunger.
yeah. I wonder if I even need these. Do I need these?
I don't know. I'm not using mine.
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Oh, I guess they're not connected. Okay, great.
All right.
That works.
Good. All right. So I'm going to take some questions right off the site. Here's one from Brianna Abril. My boyfriend, 26, and I, 23, are traveling to Boston next week and will be there for 5 days. Comment some of your favorite must-see places, visiting, things to do, favorite places to eat. We will have a car, which right away, having a car, I think, is a mistake.
Yeah.
And we're staying in Waltham, which means they got to drive in and out of the Boston. We enjoy pretty much anything from museums, beaches, shopping, hikes, and everything in between. That's a big, vague question from Brianna. But what do you
For a hike, I mean, there's not much of a hike in Boston.
Yeah, I think.
Trail.
Yeah, does it count? I mean, for a hike, I guess the Freedom Trail, right? I mean, if you want to count that as a hike.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, like, there all summer long, there's concerts at the Hatch Shell on the Charles.
Right.
Which is free. That's what I mean. I've looked up a bunch of free stuff, and Boston has tons of free stuff right now. Out, there's movies. In Revere Beach, at the Prudential Center, and at the Christopher Columbus Park just this weekend. The Shakespeare at the Commons is free to attend, which is they're doing Macbeth right now. So if you have a inclination for that wouldn't be a bad way to spend some time. That starts at like 8 p.m. So it's and if you have the proper drinking cup, you can do what you want, and
Grown-up sippy cups.
Yeah, because it's also like, I think it's 8 to 10 p.m. So
that's awesome.
As long as my guess is as long as you're not making a scene, cops don't care what adults are drinking.
I don't know if they still do this, but they used to have, if you're a resident of Boston, you could get free sailboats on the Charles too.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I don't know if that's way back there. It was small little sailboats, and they had classes you could take there, and you could.
Okay.
So if you make friends with a resident, but they also have I know my sister and my nephew came from out of town, and I rented a canoe. So there's lots to do, like, for physical. I can't say that that's free, but
yeah. Well, even if you just walk along the Charles the whole way from downtown to Alston, like you get all of Cambridge, and you can pick either. You can go up one side, come down the other.
Yeah. They have great a path to ride your bike on and also walk. Yeah. And it's absolutely beautiful.
Well, there's the Metro bikes now, right?
Right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I thought they were just there to make traffic worse, but maybe there's a function as well.
Yeah.
To eliminate parking.
Yeah. I mean, having a car is going to be difficult.
Yeah, parking is.
If you go to Spot, hey, free plug for SpotHero.com. If you get it on a good day, as long as it's not like a Red Sox day, you can usually find a pretty good all-day parking pass for less than $20, which isn't bad.
That's not bad at all.
You know, I mean, I remember I found one right next to Fenway Park on an off day for $7. And it was like someone rented out their apartment parking spot in like one of the back alleys near Kenmore Square. And I feel like this is
Parkhero.com.
Spot Hero.
Spothero.com.
Yeah, Spot Hero.
Okay, so Spot. That's a good. I'm gonna learn. I learned something today. I didn't know that.
When I go down to Boston for gigs, I usually take a look at that because sometimes they'll give me, you know, $6 cheaper at places around City Winery.
I was just talking before you got on. I was just talking about we're doing some shows down there this weekend. We got Kathy Ferris. We have Cabaret and Comedy night there, and that's a good spot if you want to go because you can go to the North End for food.
Mm-hmm.
The food at the winery is pretty good.
Yeah,
and you got Faneuil Hall walking distance.
There's a 24-hour bakery in the North End, which I just found out about. It's Bo something. I wish I had it off the top of my head. Because the Mike's Pastries, which is like you got to wait in line down the block.
Right.
And there's this spot which is, you know, I mean, just as good as far as I'm, you know, cheesecake is cheesecake wherever I go. And it's 24 hours. So if you want something sweet at the end of the night and you're in the North End, I'd go to that.
Yeah, Mike's kind of like is become like the ground. It's like the Cheers of bakeries, right? Like it's like a destination bakery.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience to wait though.
No, not usually, unless you're like gonna be with people, and it's like it's part of the, you know. I mean, the last time I went there, I was hanging out with a friend who I hadn't seen in like 5 years, so it was just like him and I talking while we're waiting to get cannolis.
Here's another question. Martha C. Garrison. Hello, we are visiting Boston for a few days. We arrive via train to South Station on September 13th, and we have tickets to a game at Fenway Park in the evening. We depart on September 18th, and we're struggling with the best hotel location in Boston, whether we can make it 2 days in Cape Cod if possible. That's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people I see constantly asking questions about the best hotel, and really you gotta, you know, it all depends what your activities are going to be. Like Fenway Park, there's several hotels up that end.
Yeah.
If you want to be, you know what I'm saying?
Well, with hotels, I always look at what the budget is.
Right.
You know, because it's easily in Boston, you could wind up spending $300 a night for a Marriott.
That's right.
You know, and it's I tend to find that like there's a lot of good deals with Airbnb, but it's always difficult because like I don't really, not the best guy because with Airbnbs I'm usually going to like a wedding in North Carolina, something like that. So it's not like the best. My guess is Airbnb is going to be just as expensive as hotels these days.
Liam, you're crackling a little. I don't know if your earbuds are still on somewhere or something.
No, they're not. Maybe it was I was fidgeting.
Oh.
Was it that?
Okay. All right. See, these are kind of out. This one's kind of out of Boston. Hello, my wife and I just got to Woburn. We're looking for dinner tonight in Boston. Any recommendation? Yvonne's is already full. So Yvonne's is kind of a upper. He's looking for a romantic place, right?
Yeah. I've never even heard of Yvonne's.
Yeah, I think that's more of a higher end. some tablecloths, a couple forks to pick from. I always like the North End, man. But I like Italian food.
Well, North End's great because you can throw a rock and you're going to find a good restaurant.
Right.
And I even like Chinatown, because even Chinatown, you throw a rock, it might not be the like a fine dining place, but the food's going to be good.
Yeah, I've always had good luck down there too.
Yeah.
What about barbecue?
Barbecue? Oh, I haven't had barbecue in a long.
The only barbecue I had in the Boston area is Red Bones in Somerville.
Oh yeah, Red Bones. I remember Red Bones. Red Bones was.
That was a good spot. I'm always amazed at this site, how far out. Oh, I got to tell you something else in a minute. How far out people plan their stuff. I'm not a good planner, but here's someone saying, we'll be in Boston on September 10th. What's the best sports bar close to the North End to watch the Patriots-Eagles game?
Oh, probably like anything across the street from the Garden.
Yeah, they're all. It's like again, if you're getting down near, the Garden, the TD Garden, anywhere down there, it's going to be sports bar.
Is it Half Court Pizza or Half Court? I remember there was a bar. Was it the Harp Bar? It just had a harp sign outside.
I think you're right.
The
hard part is if you're driving, get a good deal on parking, and then figure out, from there.
Well, that's where a lot of times it's, my girlfriend, she says that if she's going to Boston, she'll drive to Alewife, park at Alewife, and then take the train in, which I know a lot of people do.
Yeah.
That's really the best way. If you're just gonna have a lazy day in Boston,
right?
The best way to do it is park your car and then just take public transportation until you're ready to leave. Because driving in that city, you might as well just go do Uber if you're going to do that. Make some money.
Yeah, right. Is there a stop like on like that's north, the North Shore side would be Alewife, but is there like I don't really know the Orange Line or whatever on the.
I think it goes out to like Forest Hills.
Okay, that makes sense.
It may have extended. I know that they've. So like the Green Line now goes out to like Somerville, Medford area. I know that because a friend of mine lives right around there. And normally, if I would park my car there to go to the winery, I would have to go down to Davis Square.
Yes.
Which is about a mile walk. But now it's like a quarter of a mile from his house. It's the Green Line, and it goes straight to North Station. So they've extended it out. They've extended past North Station a little bit for the Green Line. I don't know what. I think it might be the E line still, because the Green has like B, C, D, and E.
Let's see. Here's something. Do you know what's your knowledge of like the Seaport area? We booked a stay in the Seaport area. Is this really far away from things to do and places?
No, it's not. The Seaport is like a 10-minute walk to City Winery, which is like the garden area.
Right.
Which is a 5-minute walk to Downtown Crossing. That's the thing is like Boston's confusing because of how it's laid out, because it's not really a grid system. It's old colonial roads that have been paved over.
Yeah, it's like a wagon wheel, right?
Yeah, but once you're in the city, it's like a 30-minute walk in the city is not a problem. Even an hour-long walk, if you're looking like the first person looking for a hike. I mean, I remember when I was going to school there, I used to walk an hour, hour and a half all the time. Even when I was working for you out in Alston,
Right.
you know, I would walk up Com Ave the whole way, and that'd be a long walk. Don't get me wrong. And at this time of year, you're gonna, you know, make sure you got water, but luckily there's restaurants and bars the whole way down to duck into. So, you know, I'm a big fan of getting lost in cities.
Yeah, right.
You know, because
Discovering things.
we all have maps in our pockets as long as you got an iPhone or some type of smartphone. So I say, don't be afraid to get lost a little bit, because Boston, on the whole, is a very safe city. So there, you know, there's not too many places that you're gonna walk into and be like, oh crap, I need to, you know, I need to split tail out of here.
I got a question I might be able to stump you with. Somebody sent in a question about where's a good place to get a tattoo.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. If anyone's watching this, you want to make a comment on that.
Well, I can. Well,
I put all my tattoo budget into food.
So, well, a little funny story about Boston and tattooing is tattooing up until how long have I been out of school? Let's say about 20 years ago. Tattooing was illegal in Massachusetts.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Not only that, there used to be laws, and there probably still are laws on books that they just don't enforce. If you had a face tattoo, you were legally insane, and they would pay you disability for having a face tattoo because you're not for public consumption. So they would pay you to stay home.
I would check the books before you get the face tattoo, though. Check with your lawyer before you get a face tattoo.
Yeah,
you get the collective disability.
I went with this is 20 years ago, but I went with a couple friends who I believe it was in Roxbury was the tattoo parlor, which may not still be there. I have no idea, but I watched a couple friends get tattooed out in Roxbury right after tattooing just became legal in Massachusetts. So when it comes to tattoos, take advice from people who have tattoos. You know, I have no tattoos, so
okay, kind of a blind spot we have. I think on the site people were there wasn't a lot of answers for that question.
Well, if my girlfriend was here, I could ask her. She's got a bunch of tattoos.
You probably know, right?
But she does it based upon who the artist is, and she does it like if she likes the person's art, then she'll make contact. She doesn't really do it based on like, unless she has if it's her stencil, she'll bring that in, and if it's just going to be, they're going to, trace her work. But otherwise, she's very particular with getting a tattoo, which would make sense because it's going to be with you forever.
Oh yeah. All right. Here's a question for you. From Maria Blaines. Hello, all. I will be in Boston for the first time ever. I'm looking to eat lobster fra diavolo and good Italian stuff. Any recommendations? I think we end up in the North End again, right?
North End.
I think this is our North End edition today.
Yeah. Well,
you can't go wrong there. And if you go to the North End too, I mean, you're right across the street from Faneuil Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you want to go like Newbury Street for upscale shopping or you have a sporting event, you can't go wrong with the North End.
No. I mean, that does sound pretty good. What is that, like lobster ravioli?
Yeah, it's spicy though.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, if it's you got to
get that on your menu. You got to try that out because it's good stuff, and I think they serve it with.
Well, I don't know if I'm just getting a taste for lobster because I've never liked it, but I've had every time someone has it, I take a little bite just to see it, and every time I like it a little bit more and more. So I think I have like 5 more times before my palate finally starts to like it.
You know, the funny thing about lobster is, like, historically, it was never like a big food item. It was like cheap. You know, I think they were just what got caught in their nets. You know,
Yeah.
and they had a. I remember they had a. I can't remember the name of it, but they had a like a museum, old Civil War, Revolutionary War prison in Connecticut.
Mm.
It was this weird thing. They had like a cave, and they would just lower this ladder down at night, and they would stay down in the cave. And there was only one way out. They had to go up through this ladder, and they fed them almost exclusively lobster. If you can, I mean, I don't care if you like lobster, eating it every day. I can't imagine they gave you butter and a bib and all that either. You know.
But it was so it couldn't have been that. I mean, well, obviously it was probably terrible, but let's not make light of that.
Right. I wish I had the background information on that one for you. Okay, here's a non-North End thing. Recommendation for activities around Copley Square or Copley Square, depending on where you were raised.
Who says Copley?
I think just one guy.
Is that what the original Copley? He was Copley.
I don't know.
And then
it's like if people, you know, like all the pronunciations of Boston towns, everybody kind of scratches their head, you know. But if you read them, you go, yeah, that.
Around Copley. Well,
I know they got like the Boston Public Library is there, which is gigantic.
Yeah.
And they have and Copley Square is pretty cool to bop around there. Boylston Avenue, Avenue. You're a block from, like we just talked about, Newbury Street, which has a lot of really upscale stores and shopping. And they have that new mall in there, right?
Yeah. And then you also
Heinz Auditorium is there.
The what?
Isn't it Heinz Auditorium up in on Com Ave up there, up that end? I think it is.
Yeah. There's also
it's Heinz Convention Center. That's what it is.
Heinz Convention Center. There's also the Prudential Center does free movies.
Oh, that sounds good.
So here's a little plug that I found. At the Prudential Center, they're showing Minions: The Rise of Gru on the 22nd.
Nice.
And then it's right near the Commons, so there's also Shakespeare in the Commons. There's also around Copley Square. It's on Boylston Street. My favorite restaurant in Boston, and it's a place I used to work at as a door guy. It's called Parish Cafe, and their I guess what would you call it? Their little flavor to their restaurant is they go to all the owner went to all of the basically celebrity chefs and famous chefs in Boston and said, make me a sandwich and I'll put it on my menu as advertisement for your restaurant. So all of the no matter what you get, they're going to be delicious, but they're most famous for it's called the Zuni roll, which is like it's a turkey wrap with some type of cranberry relish and like I think it's like Havarti dill cheese. It's phenomenal. I can't say enough good things about Parish Cafe.
Yeah, that sounds like a good stop.
It's I can still remember some of their sandwiches from when I worked.
I know
there.
we wanted to do a party there for the Boston Comedy Festival, and we couldn't get in the door.
Yeah.
But that was on our short list.
Yeah, that place is phenomenal.
And when you worked there, did you get free meals out of them?
Oh yeah, they paid in. So this is again 20 years ago. They paid in cash. Love it. They paid well above market price for me, and you could get a meal and a dessert. They had at the time they had this white chocolate bread pudding, which was outstanding. And I went there a couple months ago, and I think the white chocolate bread pudding is still on the menu.
Wow. Okay.
It's totally worth it.
All right. So that's your pick of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. Pick of all time.
All right.
Yeah, and full bar.
Sweet.
Full bar and
they're open late too, right?
Oh yeah, open till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 a.m. now.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so a couple things. This week we made a change to Things to Do Boston Facebook group, and we changed it to Stuff to Do Boston on your recommendation.
Oh really?
So we're now Stuff to Do Boston, and also today we hit 50,000 members.
Oh, badass.
So 50,000 members. This is our first attempt at doing a little live stream and also a little podcast. And so hopefully we'll be doing this on a regular basis. And if you want to send in, put questions up on the Stuff to Do Facebook page, I'll read them and we'll answer them here. But also, if you have an event that you want to do, or if you want to see other people's events, we have a new website called stufftodoboston.com. So all that stuff is new and happening, and we're excited about it. And then Liam, you got some social media you want to plug before we bail?
Yeah, I'm on. You can catch me on Instagram at Liam Hales NH for New Hampshire. All one word. And then my Twitter, which I'm starting to get into again, is just my name at Liam Hales. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, great. And I'm at jimmchugh.com, and you can connect all my different social media through there. I'm on everything. Just put Jim McHugh, comedian, and I'll probably pop up. All right, so Liam, thanks so much for getting this first rocky episode off at the ground, and we're gonna try to do some more. Hopefully, this will be a great place for people to get on. We're also hoping in the future that you can go on to our live feed and you can help us answer these questions and help us ask questions. So this will be a format that'll be interactive with people watching this. Okay. So thank you, everybody. If you tuned in or if you're watching this as a pre-taped version of this, thank you, and let's do it again. All right.
Yeah. Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Liam.
All right. Have a great day.
Okay.